Well, it is May, and that is wildflower season at the clearing. And we'll start with one of everybody's favorite, a large flowered trillium. Not seeing a lot of them open yet, but there are a few. Beautiful, large, kind of bell-shaped, nodding white flower, leaves of 3, petals of 3, Trillium TR. It's a plant of 3s. And there are places at the clearing and places in Door County where it's almost a ground cover, a sea of white when they're in full bloom. That's still coming up yet because this is a little early. But I thought we'd start with Trillium, one everybody knows and everybody loves. Well, here we have one of my favorites. This is early meadow rue, which even without flowers, it's a beautiful plant and it stays nice all season long. But it's in flower right now, and it has separate male and female plants. So this, with this little kind of hula skirt like flower, these are the male flowers that are producing pollen that will then want to pollinate a female plant, and these are the female flowers. So we have male and female side by side with a beautiful early spring growth. Just a wonder, and it can get up to even 2.5 feet tall or so sometimes. It's just a great native wildflower, early meadow rue. And right amongst the early meadow rue, we have a nice patch of wild leek, also called ramp, R-A-M-P. That's what they call it out in Appalachia, ramp. It's unusual in that all you get is foliage this time of year. It comes up and does all of its work, and then the leaves die back to the ground when it gets real shady overhead. It's a true spring ephemeral. Ephemeral means fleeting. So those are the plants that grow fast, do their work, and the foliage dies back to the ground when you get a full canopy overhead. So this is only leaves in spring, and then in midsummer, mid to late summer, you get a stalk, a little round ball of small yellow flowers with no leaves. It comes up naked of leaves and produces its seed, a beautiful little shiny black seed, and then that withers up. So all you get with wild leek is, in spring, is the foliage. People collect this and use it in salads, and it's in the onion family. It's in the onion genus. It's an allium. It has a little bulb underground, and people will collect those bulbs to make leek soup. And for people that do go out and forage for wild edibles, it's good if you're going to pick in a patch, let's say, of leek. You don't take it all. You always leave at least half there so it can reproduce. But this is a nice little patch of wild leek or ramp. Now, this isn't in flower yet, but the foliage is so spectacular this time of year. I thought I'd mention it. This is wild Saparella, or Saparella actually, not sarsaparilla, Saparella. And when the foliage comes out in spring, it's just this glossy maroon color. It'll get a little round flower cluster a little later in spring. This is just right next to the large dorm on the east side. There's a nice patch of, this is another one of my favorites, Bellwart, also called Mary Bells, with these beautiful yellow drooping flowers. People think they're wilted and dry, but that's just how they grow. And it's an interesting plant in that the leaves, the base of the leaf, not only wraps around the stem, but the stem appears to just grow right through it, like a needle through thread. That's called perfoliate. That's a condition called perfoliate. So you often see this plant listed as perfoliate bellwort. But bellwort, wart is an ancient word for plants. Bellwort is the common name, the most common name. but Marybelle's sounds nicer. But lots of that at the clearing. So this is right in front of Murtha's cabin, and it's a patch of Virginia bluebells. They are not native in Door County. They're native in Wisconsin, as close as Brown County and Kewaunee County, but they're not native up here. This was obviously planted. It's been here as long as I've been here, so this could go back many years. But it's the only place at the clearing where we have them, and it's a nice color contrast, pink and bud, and then they open to that nice pinkish blue. Virginia bluebells. This is right in front of the lodge, and this is Canada wild ginger, fully leafed out. And the interesting thing, it has these big heart-shaped velvety leaves, which are beautiful. It makes a wonderful ground cover, but it flowers right along the ground. Here's a little kind of fuzzy maroon flower with 3, I'm not sure if these are petals or sepals. They're probably petals. And they lay right along the ground, and the ants pollinate them. And not only do the ants pollinate them, but this is one of those wildflowers that the seed has a little jelly-like fatty coating on it that ants will harvest that seed, take it back to their nest, and feed their larvae that fatty coating. And then when that's gone, they just take the seed out and discard it. It's called, trilliums do this, bloodroot, violets, and wild ginger. That's called myrmecococcary, that phenomenon of ants harvesting the seeds, feeding that fatty coating on the seeds to their young, and then discarding the seed. That's how it spreads, from ants collecting the seed. But an interesting little flower that if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't see it. Canada wild ginger. Early to mid-May is also the season for serviceberries. It's one of our wonderful small-scale trees, often on the edge of the woods, or in this case, it's kind of right along the road, along Garrett Bay Road. We have 2 species in Door County. We have Allegheny serviceberry, and we have downy serviceberry. And they hybridize naturally, so you get some characteristics from both. And this is strongly Allegheny because it has that rust color in the new leaves, but it also has some of the fuzz on the underside that you see on downy serviceberry. But they both have this wonderful floral display, pure white. It's in the same family as apples and pears and cherries and all those. So nice, beautiful white flowers. And this will produce a small, kind of pea-sized, dark blue berry that ripens in late June, early July. Another name for serviceberries is Juneberry. There's lots of other common names too, but I learned it as serviceberry. They're just brightening up the landscape everywhere right now in Door County. And again, very common along the edge of, like a wood line along the edge. Allegheny serviceberry.